Greetings, y'all. I'm going to talk about why prayer actually works from a metaphysics point of view, Buddhist point of view, mysticism point of view, philosophical point of view. Nah, none of that, really none of that. From my point of view, having had a lot of experience, and also having spoken to people of various different backgrounds who have experienced healing, and who have experienced miracles, and that it's not only within one particular faith that these things occur. And so there's good news and bad news, I guess, if you're a typical believer Christian. The good news is that prayer, it works, and healing, through God, through the Holy Spirit, through relinquishing oneself, through Jesus Christ, it works. The bad news is about the reason that it works. It might not necessarily be what you've been told. So, of course, religious institutions are very much a control mechanism in society, and they have been since the sectarian states, the confessional states, where they didn't have a sophisticated system of democracy and constitutional republics like we do in the West, in the free world at least. So they relied on a different type of structure, and not only that, these religious institutions, they of course became very powerful because a lot of people they need some kind of faith, and there's healing and miracle. When there's healing and miracles involved, it makes it even juicier. So the healing and the miracles is definitely real, but it doesn't depend on any one religious institution. It's not the religious institution that's doing the healing, and it's not necessarily what any particular religious institution's point of view about what God and the infinite is. It's not necessarily even that's doing the healing. It's something that is beyond human comprehension. God, the infinite, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, these things are, we can get some idea of it through scriptures, through the Bible, but really this is beyond. God is the infinite, the creator, is not something that any one human being or religious institution or whoever can claim some sort of ownership or copyright or whatever over, but they do, because this is how, even today, I go to church and I see this dynamic very clearly playing out. So really it's the human mind. The mind is a very powerful thing if it's used in the right way, and if it is connected to the right power source. And that power source, you can say, is God, is a higher power, more divine thing that is beyond human beings, And when we are able to let go, and this happens a lot, you see this happening a lot in Christianity and church, when people are they let go through through Jesus Christ, as they would say. And this enables a kind of a release, a lot of emotional release, a lot of wound up energy that was energetic problems. It allowed a release, and sometimes it's even so strong it comes up the spinal cord, goes through the brain, goes through a certain speech centers of the brain, and people start speaking in tongues. All right. And the thing is, these are just momentary phenomena. Okay, the speaking in tongues itself, the emotional release itself, the feeling of a billion volts going through your body, like the power of the Holy Spirit. These phenomena are just momentary things. It's not something that will really, it's good if you experience that, but you don't want to get stuck on that, thinking that experience or that phenomena itself is your ultimate, is your proof of, is really anything. I mean, it's nothing really. Okay, the true thing is something, again, that is very, very subtle, very beyond human comprehension. It is almost a kind of emptiness, and it's a very calm thing. It's not any emotion. It's not any. Yeah, you're going to go through these emotions and crying and emotional releases and laughter and a lot of different things, but the true let's say connection with God, divine thing, is actually a kind of awareness and is a kind of emptiness, and is a very, very serene, a very calm thing where you're not just going to react, or because you'll be aware of a lot of things, and you'll have a very strong spiritual sight, okay, you can say, through God, like that. And so different religions can be telling you different things, and Christianity definitely can be a very, very good one, okay, and it has a good let's say method, or maybe we can call it something more divine than that, okay, something more divine than just calling it a method, but basically, okay. So the mind is very powerful, okay, especially when we use it in the right way, when it's connected to a higher purpose and the goodness in the universe, the goodness of God, all that which builds, nurtures, and strengthens, as opposed to that which siphons off energy, depletes people, misleads people, confuses people. So it's about making this distinction, okay, is really what it is. So yeah, I guess that's that. I mean, if you've read between the lines, listened between the words, and experienced this emptiness, then you've taken it based on the concept and context. Because I don't, me personally, I'm not a A to Z kind of linear speaking, relying on these linear cognitive functions. Okay, if I would rely on that, I would be at a disadvantage. Other people's internal map of reality, which is different from reality itself, which is a distortion, which is their presuppositions, their biases, their political dispositions, their psychological factors, a lot of internal distortions, which creates an internal map of reality which does not match reality itself. And this internal distortion is based on neural linguistics and the language center of the brain, and because human beings, we have this oversized brain and things. But we have higher mind function as well, okay, which is about pattern recognition, intuition, okay, and even things higher than that, okay. That's what I rely on, Okay, and that's how it is that you can see that maybe you would like to, but the way you're saying it, it's not polished, and it's yeah, because you're relying on these very crappy basic things, which basically got sort of knocked out a little bit in my brain. Okay, and I got hit by dyslexia, autism, and things, and so I couldn't rely. I still can't just rely on those things. I have to rely on higher pattern recognition, intuition, higher connection with the divine, okay, to explain things, to open up a space, okay. And I train other mind power, energy power things, and I can demonstrate this very, very clearly, okay. Have ways of showing that yeah, if I would rely on normal abilities, your internal distortions would have the advantage, okay, because my internal that way is not developed, but I had a certain openness in my mind because things were knocked out by dyslexia, autism, but there was another kind of openness, okay, and through doing Tai Chi, doing meditation and things, I slowly opened it even more. So now I'm just aware of a lot of things. Yes. Okay, so let's do some training.